Los Angeles is known as one of the greatest basketball cities in the world. However, all of the success has been down to just one of the two teams in LA, the Lakers, not the Clippers. Many have said that the Clippers are cursed and will never win. But when Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard signed with them in the summer of 2019, the franchise traded for superstar Paul George, providing a glimmer of hope that the team would finally be able to raise a banner of their own at the Staples Center. With the 2019-2020 NBA season on hiatus due to
coronavirus,
we are still yet to see if the Claw and PG-13 can bring home the title and finally win the Battle of LA. So we thought we would put them up to the test against the best Clippers team that went before them. The Lob City Clippers, led by Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, finished with 57 wins, good enough for third in the Western Conference, and had the best offensive rating in the league, as well as the 9th best defense. Only 3 other teams were in the top 10 in both offensive and defensive rankings, putting Doc Rivers' side amongst the elite. CP3 and Blake Griffin were named All-Stars, DeAndre Jordan led the league in rebounding, and Jamal Crawford, JJ Redick and Darren Collison rounded out the roster to give them 6 double-digit scorers. If it wasn't for injuries, the team would have probably finished higher than third and could have made a run at the finals. However, they crashed out to the OKC Thunder in the conference semifinals. With the series tied at 2 games apiece, they seemed poised to win Game 5 and have a closeout game at home. However, thanks to some poor decisions from CP3, the team somehow let a 7-point lead evaporate with less than a minute to play and eventually lost the series in 6 games. We decided to put Lob City up to the test against the current Clippers team to see if the curse is real or if they're en route to a championship. I'm Mo, you're watching Hoop Genius, and let's get buckets. Alright, cool, so we've got the 2 Clippers teams here. I've got the Lob City 13-14 and you've obviously got the current day. Should we start by diving in to the uniforms and have a look at...
Let's dive in with that. Go
straight in. I know you're big on the jerseys, but unfortunately I'm pressing triangle and online mode isn't going to let us fucking do it.
Choose the jerseys. So well, I'm clearly going to be the away team, you're clearly going to be the home team.
So yours is going to be blue and mine's going to be white.
Which I'm alright with, but to be honest, yeah, I don't know. I quite like this.
I like the GTA kind of font. You know, the white and black one that you guys have. And then the Lob City Clippers, I felt like the black jersey with kind of the LAC logo in the middle rather than the Clippers
that one
in that
logo
squiggly
bit.
font.
I did quite like that.
I've always thought the Clippers branding was kind of terrible, if I'm being completely honest.
That's why I can't believe the mock-ups of the new stadium, they've got the thing baked into the ceiling of the stadium, and I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea.
And it would be so cool if it was a team with like an iconic logo. Like, you know,
totally.
The Pacers. That P with a basketball in is never going to change. But even here on the screen, you can see 2 different logos in the space of like 6 years. So, you know.
Why the hell did I just hear that? Why did I just hear...
It came out the controller.
Oh.
We're rolling.
This is not
Chris
good
Paul
news.
back on the Clippers. Patrick Beverley is quite a tough matchup for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not with me controlling him. Who do you actually fancy pre tip off? Who do you fancy on this?
I'm gonna say the new Clippers.
Not based on us.
Not
based on us.
Because I think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are offering, like, if you're looking at the strengths of the Lob City team.
What are you doing?
That point guard and power forward. But the strength of the new team is they've got. Are you running with Paul George at the 2 and Kawhi at the 3? Yeah, no. Morris at the 4.
I haven't even looked at the lineups, but I think so. Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up with that ball, but
nor do I.
But prime Blake Griffin, I'm gonna try. I was trying to bang it and he missed it.
Finesse.
I've got JJ Redick on this team as well.
You do, yeah. This team was actually. This team's. I mean, we all know why they didn't win, but.
I was trying to get Blake to cut. I got Matt Barnes as well. My favourite podcast host right now. DeAndre is absolutely eating the boards. I always feel like this team choked their chance. Remember that series against Houston?
Yeah, but I think that was also a coaching problem.
This is not a matchup that I like.
I love that.
See what I mean? They've defensively, they've not got anyone who can stop these kind of dynamic wings like Paul George or Kawhi.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, great defender at the one, but you know.
DeAndre Jordan's animation in this just makes him look like he's. Oh, hello, you're the home team. I forgot about that. Couldn't do that. Oh, I absolutely messed that up.
How wild is it? Like, you know, if you were watching this back in the day, and someone went to tell you that, oh, come on, JJ Redick, nice lay. That's not exactly how they played. I don't know why he was standing in there. If someone told you with this Lob City team, DeAndre was kind of seen as like the third guy. You know, like he wasn't really a superstar. But if someone told you that KD and Kyrie would both be wanting to play with him in free agency, I would have thought you were nuts.
Do you think they're like? Do you think that is purely a friendship thing, or do you think they also see it as like a compatible basketball thing?
I think it's a friendship thing completely, because there's no way.
Boom.
I'm trying so desperately to get a lob, and it's just turning up in turnovers.
That's fine. Maybe I need to set you up for a couple of these things.
It's all good. They'll come naturally in the game. Why do you not just dunk that? What? DeAndre Jordan taking a damn jump shot. You almost had a lob there. You got to hit that double triangle.
That double triangle. All right. I'm not a massive player. I love PlayStation, but everyone will remember that our team at the Wembley Cup was sponsored by Xbox. So
yeah, you are an Xbox guy. You got the Xbox recently for your birthday, didn't you?
I got the PlayStation recently.
There we go. There's the lob. I just had to get one out of my system. The
that was actually real nice as well.
You haven't missed a shot yet, bro. You're 4 from 4.
Am I?
Probably because you've got JJ Redick guarding Paul George. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem. And here we go.
Oh, the claw.
Yeah, there you go.
So if this LA Clippers team, the Lob City one, was in the league today, what seed would they be in the Western Conference?
It's a really good. I think they'd be about a 6. Oh no, wait, because actually, are you talking? Am I talking like the current CP3? Or am I talking like the old school CP3?
No, this team in a time machine over into the
this controller
modern day.
Okay.
Yeah, the sound on the controller is really jarring.
Yeah, extremely jarring to the point where I'm just like, I thought I muted my TV.
Oh my god!
There you go. That was incredible work.
Matt Barnes guarding Kawhi. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
A very Kawhi-esque dunk there.
The big claw coming down.
Yeah, I got to admit. Okay, I reckon these guys might be in the top 4.
Top 4 seed.
Yeah.
How far do you see them going?
I see them going out to someone who tactically can do better than that.
Yeah. I don't know why Blake's just chilling on the perimeter. I'm trying to get him some dunks, but
that's Blake Griffin. He's waiting for you to lob it up.
Don't know what the offensive set, but how weird is it the Darren Collison situation where he's left the NBA to become a Jehovah's Witness?
I'm totally fine with that.
I respect it, but how can you leave the NBA, man? That's like the ultimate.
If the Lord calls you, all you can do is go, Mo.
He ain't called me out the NBA yet.
Yeah, that's part of it. You're
Jamal Crawford's on this team. Are you
this
mad?
Team, yeah.
The Green straight away money.
Judging by this team and the actual, I mean, on paper, this team should be the team that wins it.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. Good. Well done.
On paper, the new team has to win, surely.
No. Because I think that the other team has got more depth. You've got Hito Turkoglu there.
Yeah, but this was like a shell of Hito Turkoglu. Do you know what I mean?
But you still know what I mean. Like, this is pretty. Oh, mate, I've got absolutely done there by screen.
Oh, give me that.
Nasty.
I've been waiting a whole quarter to do that with Blake. I hear you, but for me, it kind of like I've got Jamal Crawford, you've got Lou Williams. They're both very similar guys. You've got the Harrell coming off the bench as well. I think this year's Clippers team has got one of the best benches in recent history.
Oh, mate, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to ISO this one because there's 20 seconds left.
My second string. I'm not a very good NBA player with the second string here. I need my first string out there. Not because I don't know the players, Mo, but because
it's just because you're not used to using them. Oh.
That was...
There.
Oh, that's just beautiful play.
You just got to pick your poison with that. You either stop Jamal or you stop Blake, but you're not doing both. The only problem with that combo is the lack of defense from Jamal. That's the reason why
Oh, yes.
What do you,
Nice.
ooh, I see you, killer. I
Wow.
see you. What do you think of Jamal Crawford not being in the league this season?
I'm really
'Cause
upset about it because
every week on
how can you
Twitter,
not?
every week on Twitter, you see someone tweeting about it, or you see even him himself talking about, yeah, I should be there. Do you know what I mean? Or some like indirect, subtle kind of
But
vibe.
he should be on a team. Like,
What team
I can't
should he be
believe
on?
Well, I can't believe the Knicks or someone like that haven't gone, yeah, cool, we'll take someone who at least is going to pull people in, or like someone who's at least going to be interesting to watch. There are so many people who could do with him. I just wonder whether some coaches maybe feel like he's a bit of a relic, or it's nothing to do with fitness. It can't be anything to do with his shape he's in.
He can get buckets. He'll be getting buckets to these 8. You know, like the Uncle Drew Kyrie commercials.
Yeah,
He's literally gonna be that. That is him. Haido Turgo is just huge.
Yeah, he's looked big in my face.
But
those are hard to stop.
there's in 2K, it's almost like a hack. Did you watch the 2K Players Tournament the other day?
Yeah.
So KD, when he was playing Derrick Jones Jr. in the first round, Derrick Jones learned out how to do a hop step, and he learned very quickly that there was no stopping it. So he essentially hop stepped every bucket for the entire game.
Yeah,
And it's the same like on 2K20. There's almost no stopping post hooks.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to stop that? That would have been lovely.
That
Thank
would
you.
have been nice. Flare into the corner.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
there's a lot more rebounds for my team than there is for yours.
It's, Blake's not
I
the
had
best
the chance
rebounder
there.
in the world. There, you got it. Easy money.
I had the chance there to do alley-oop that.
He's got to get the timing
Tries.
right.
Yeah, that was the problem. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about the timing.
I'm just putting up on a dime. That's that
is
unstoppable
lovely.
bucket.
Jamal.
But my whole thing with Jamal Crawford is like, you could give Jamal Crawford a roster spot, or you could give like a undrafted 21-year-old prospect a roster spot, because in 5 years' time, the prospect might suck and you might absolutely get nowhere with him. But in 5 years' time, he might, how many times have we seen guys that are just nobodies make it in the league?
I guess that's why I'm surprised. I mean, I'm kind of surprised
But I
that
thought
no
it'd be
one
like-
took him on as like, right, we need someone who can handle the ball when we don't have a insert big player here, and we know this guy can do that.
I thought it would be like a Lakers, because they really lack a ball handler. But I guess what they need more is kind of a facilitator rather than a scorer.
So far, what do you think about these two teams? How do you think these two match up? Because it's pretty fascinating. This is actually a really close game. It's just my guys have scored.
I think it's pretty much expected, to be honest.
This is probably actually, that score right now shows just about the percentage difference between what these two teams have.
Yeah, like, I'll probably say that the current Clippers have a 1 in 4 chance of winning a championship. And the old Clippers probably had under a 20% chance, if that makes any sense.
What field were they up against, though? I mean, surely, who's that they're up against?
Lob
They're
City
up against the
era,
Warriors.
The Spurs were really the ones.
Spurs.
They made back-to-back finals in those years because it was up against the
Yeah.
LeBron James Heat, and then they came up against that's when Golden State were getting really good. But Chris Paul, as much as on the podcast I'm a hater of Chris Paul, I'm involved in a online My League where we did a fantasy draft, and I've got Chris Paul on my team, and he's still to this day is doing absolute numbers. So
Love that.
to have him here, his handle is just so tight. Like, Patrick Beverley is one of the best defenders in the league, but he's just going right past him every time.
Look at
He's just, it's that subtle in and out. And he just can't stop him. Oh.
Go on. Kawhi is very hard to stop.
Oh, give me that, DeAndre!
That was beautiful.
Forgot how good DeAndre was at blocking shots.
This has happened to me a lot recently on games consoles, where like the other day I was playing COD and I called out, I was like, I don't think anyone will be on this side of the hill. We go over, there's 2 whole squads just waiting for me.
Here we go, DeAndre.
Oh,
You gotta reward the big
frustrating.
man. This is what, when I see teams, like, this is one thing that, as a basketball player and as a fan as well, really irritates me. When you see a big man make a great defensive play. Oh, JJ, come on. When you see a big man make a great defensive play, you want to reward the big on the other end by setting him up for something nice and easy. Because guys like DeAndre, they don't get given the ball and say, like Chris Paul, he gets the ball, he gets to create a bucket. Jamal Crawford, here's the ball, create a bucket. But DeAndre is really eating off the scraps of everyone else, or if he's open off a pick and roll. So it's nice after a big defensive play, you really see the difference in like the energy for the big. They get super hyped. You know, like now with Harold, you'll see him screaming as he comes down the court and scores a dunk.
Damn.
But then there's other teams where certain players will like, their big will make a great block and then they'll just ISO at the top.
Yeah, and they're just deal with it.
And the big man is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, no.
Jamal,
how do I have two guys just sitting there? Jamal is clawing you single-handedly almost back into this.
Tied the scores. I think the one thing that I do like about this Lob City, sorry to cut you off, the Lob City team is more of a traditional basketball, like, you know, the 1 to 5 kind of roles.
That was what I was about to say to you. It seems like there's a bit more of a defined identity for this team, which gave them, for me, almost a better chemistry than we see now amongst this Lob City team. Got you. Yeah, thank you.
The current team, you have like the reason why at the start of the game I was like, mate. At the start of the game, you know, when I was like, are you playing Kawhi at the 2, at the 3, or Paul George at the 2? Is because there's so many versatile options that you can have. Give me that, Jamal. Cash it. Cash that in. Cash that in. Now bang. Because you know you could play a lineup with Paul George at the 4, or you could play him at the 2. There's so much versatility, and you know, give me that again. DeAndre, big presence.
That is lovely.
And because they don't often play together as, you know, like a healthy unit, it's hard to get that momentum. Jamal Crawford is on flames right now.
He's probably one of my favourite players to play back in the day. I remember playing with the Knicks with him back in the day, and he was just impossible to stop. Yeah. What are you doing?
Remember on the podcast when we were talking about which old players would thrive in the league today?
Yeah.
If someone cut to the hoop so I can give them that alley. If Jamal Crawford was drafted in this era rather than his era,
where would he end up? Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. I thought DeAndre was going to cut. He flared to the corner, but you know his skill set would be unreal. He'd be like because he was the leader in 4-point plays.
Yeah.
Up until very recently, and he might even still be the leader. In
I also feel like you have to define those things by era.
Yeah.
Like you can't. In that era, he was the leader there. Oh come on, bro. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Landry Shamet ain't scoring on a post up against me, rude boy. I'm sorry.
I got much closer than I think you thought I would get.
Yeah.
Nah, you ain't scoring that.
Every time I get Blake, I assume he's just going to jump over whoever's in the way. Ooh. No. I know you saw DeAndre on the lane and didn't want to attack.
Yeah, basically. So I was like, big small just does not combine.
I know you see him down there. He's a big deterrent. But half time.
Which of these teams at half time so equal? I'm so happy with that. I mean, the steals, I'm happy with that.
The steals have evened out the lack of rebounds for your team, I think.
Totally, yeah, because you guys are out rebounding. I mean, I think Jordan there was out rebounding quite a lot. Which of these two teams do you think is better liked?
Oh, definitely the current Clippers. But do you mean by like this Clippers team was? Do you not remember how much everyone hated them? Because like Chris Paul, and then you know like Blake was always fine with like Ibaka when they played OKC.
I guess I'll split this off into tiers then.
All right.
So which of these teams do you reckon is better liked in the league? Amongst the players?
I don't know. I think they're weirdly both very much disliked.
Yeah, they don't really have they don't seem to really care much for being liked.
This is such a mismatch. I'm just swarming defenders at him and hoping someone can get in his way.
I'm not great when I ISO ball. Yeah, that's good. Oh.
Alright, let's get some.
Which team do you think is better liked by the fans?
I think the Lob City, because for that reason.
The entertainment factor as well.
Because not only that though, is this current Clippers team, you can't really like them because no one's really seen them. We've seen maybe 10 games of Kawhi and Paul George together.
Yeah.
So it's hard to love a team and be a fan of them.
That you don't really know, yeah. Oh mate, that's beautiful.
That's
and then finally, which team do you think is more of an NBA League Pass team?
Oh, definitely the current ones, because for me, I don't know for everyone, but for me, I watch League Pass to watch the stars play. So, like, on a daily basis, I'm turning on League Pass and I kind of base it on, is Zion playing, who's he playing, is Luka playing, like that kind of thing. I want to see the stars. Obviously, it's good to watch like great teams. Good. But the thing that lets down this Clippers team is JJ Redick's lack of kind of ball handling and playmaking. Oh,
yes.
Terrible. I'm forcing the lobs. I'm forcing the lobs.
I can see that. Sometimes I see you looking for it and he's like, move around.
But you know, I like to watch the stars. So, you know, the star powerness. And also, I've never personally been a big kind of Chris Paul fan.
Have you ever been a big... Are you a massive Doc Rivers fan when he's not with your guys?
You know what, right? I used to think that Doc Rivers was amazing because of what he did with Boston. And as time has gone on, I've learned that Chris Paul's on the bench and I'm still throwing the lobs. I've learned that a lot of what he did in Boston wasn't actually down to him. Like, the reason why the defense was so good is Tom Thibodeau was the defensive orchestrator.
Correct.
On that coaching staff, and then even Ty Lue was on that coaching staff. And so what I respect about Doc Rivers is he's a great manager of personalities. You know, he can get guys to mesh well together, and you know that's not an easy thing to do in the NBA. Oh, come on, Blake! Just dunk the ball, bruv! Oh my God.
To be fair, I think that's more down to where I put my body between you and the rim, but
yeah, that was good defense. But Blake should be just jumping over. Remember all his putbacks over Pau Gasol, Mozgov, Perkins.
What's he doing?
Give me that. All those guys.
The thing is, I don't think I'm quite working. I don't think I'm quite on my buttons here. I'm doing it okay, but I'm also looking at it. I'm like, why are you facing him up when I'm pressing that? That's not what I remember.
This 2K20 is a lot more sensitive to like the direction stick. Do you know what I mean? Like if you slightly move it, the player will spin around.
Which I like. It definitely. Sometimes it benefits me, so I can't really complain. That's beautiful.
Oh!
Yeah, you suck.
Gave it too early. Gave the pass away too early. Ah! I tried to get that on, but Jamal Crawford ain't playing no defense. But what was I saying before this? I can't even remember now. I'm just focused on the game.
Defense.
Yeah. So,
get it out of here.
That was awful.
Whoa!
Blake.
Yes.
This is actually peak. People must be watching this and thinking these guys are worse than the fucking players in the 2K tournament. Oh man. You know them possessions. I need to slow this down right now. I need to.
Yeah,
everything's a bit discombobulated right now.
Panicking a bit. Yeah. See what I mean? No.
Give me that.
How'd you dive like that? Oh, this is where I need to.
You just have to bang square.
Right.
There we go. Just
I've lost out there because I didn't square that. Yeah.
There's a few possessions where everything just gets a bit hectic and you just have to slow it down a little bit. But Doc Rivers. He really is a terrible GM. Remember when the Clippers gave him that GM head coach role? And he was awful.
That was terrible. No one can do that, really. I don't know anyone that's really... even Phil Jackson's not capable.
Ever since they brought in Jerry West, I feel like it's been a lot better.
Oh, much more... I mean, I also think that Jerry West just seems to be a much more calming presence.
Yeah. And he's got the experience and... all that, but I think being the GM and the coach is almost an impossible task now because
I heard an interview with Steve Ballmer. He said that
you have to give your full attention to both.
Yeah, sometimes you need that. You need a bit of teamwork.
Turgoloo with the handles. Blake. That was sauce. That was so unrealistic, but yet so saucy. Haido Turgoloo with a spin move and a dime. That ain't happening.
Oh, bro. I don't understand why I'm doing so well with. You resetting your camera?
Yeah, it's back on now. Jamal Crawford.
Oh yes!
The pass to Blake was on.
How did have you seen those handles from Jamal? And then, mate, what have I done there?
Are you seeing this from Jamal? What? Nah.
Oh, bro.
For God's sake, Blake! I just wanted him to jump over someone. That's all I want. Just once. Just jump over whoever's in front of you. I didn't even look at the score, the clock even. This is a very close game.
This is a well-played game.
I thought your team would be way ahead, I can't lie.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, Mo. That's why I'm playing with this team.
The mismatch of Paul George guarded by JJ Redick. If you noticed, I've been playing a lot less of JJ Redick in this game.
I've also just not been able to make the most of that because my ISO ball isn't really. It's not all that.
Yeah.
There goes
I've been running a pick and roll on almost every possession.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's only right with the Lob City Clippers.
It works though.
There we go. Look.
Mate, what am I doing?
There we go. It's beautiful.
Trez would be placed much better than that. That's my only problem with him. Come on, Kawhi. That's the one.
Too strong. So what I'm saying to you is, if you could add Kawhi or Paul George to the Lob City team to be the player that takes them over the edge. Kawhi, why so?
Well, Kawhi, because I need someone who's going to be able to play some dedicated defense. There's too many guys who just aren't that guy for me on Lob City. Oh, mate. And also, I just think Kawhi's the kind of guy who could drag a team to a championship.
But here's the thing. I would actually have to disagree and go with Paul George.
Okay, go for it.
Because they've already got Chris Paul, who's handling the ball most of the time.
I get that. That's absolutely fine.
Paul George is a much better three-point shooter, so he space the floor. And Kawhi operates a lot more. He has been though. Do you know what I mean? Like even last year before.
Okay.
He's a better three-point shooter, and Kawhi scores more in the mid-range.
Yeah.
And with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, you want to be kind of keeping the floor spaced as possible.
Kick it. It's great D there, guys. Well done.
Oh, for God's sake, why are they just going up so soft? They need to be throwing this down. I'm trying to figure out who's on 49, who's on 50. Give me that!
That was beautiful. I can't believe that he went for that move, though. I'm not quite sure why he went for that move. Oh!
There we go. There we have it.
Well, that's you on 52. I can still make this come back. I'm good.
Okay. It's a 3-point game, and you got the ball, so...
I'm good with that. It's just... Here we go. Paul George. Shake him up. Here we go. Come on, please.
But yeah, so that's why I would go with Paul George. Not to say he's a better player than Kawhi. I just think that he might, fulfill the team's needs a little bit better.
Now, you see, I think the team's needs is much more on the defensive end.
Do you not rate Paul George on the defensive end?
It's not that I don't rate Paul George, it's that I rate Kawhi higher.
Yeah, fair. That's very fair. Although I want to put a hot take out. Oh my God, he close to us, Blake. I want to put a hot take out there.
Yeah.
And say that last season.
Bit more. Yeah, I go. You're going to say.
Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George was a much better defender than Kawhi.
Yeah. But I also just think Kawhi's got that factor that scares people.
Yeah, the kind of the name.
People also look. We're probably looking at a bit. If Blake sees Kawhi come in, he's not feeling threatened at all by that. He's not feeling like, I need to. Oh, mate, what is? I need to worry about him.
Give me that. Give me
that rock.
I just picked you up, Paul George. How can you miss? Usually I'd be vexed. See, I just don't get why Blake was standing in the corner for that possession. I wanted him cutting to the hoop.
Didn't make any sense. I feel like that's the problem. Is if Kawhi's playing with him, Kawhi's throwing him the ball, and Blake's standing in the corner, and Kawhi's like, I thought you were gonna dunk that. Oh, here we go. Give out a few t-shirts.
The one gripe that I did have with Blake Griffin when he played for this team is he forced too many post-ups and jump shots when those weren't really his strengths. Like, I feel like this team, if they had Van Gundy, who coached the Magic back in 2009, running that similar scheme in that heavily pick and roll with shooters, that it would have been a lot more effective. But the only thing is, DeAndre, if you're running a pick and roll with Blake, DeAndre offers absolutely nothing. So
that's no good. I don't understand how that wasn't good. That bounced out of the basket. That was revenge for what happened with Kawhi's shot back then. All right, put your hands up. That's good. Well done. Keep those hands. Keep on it.
Here we go. Oh,
love
DeAndre, turn around, bro. What are you doing?
That's
inside.
that is ridiculous.
That's two big misses from Paul George.
Paul George. I mean, we all knew it. This is partly, again, why I wouldn't have him in the team, Mo. Yeah, it's also...
And that's the miss from CP.
It's
hilarious that it's just Clippers DNA is just fucking choke in the fourth quarter. Because how many times did this Lob City team choke in the fourth quarter? I think they have the playoff record for the biggest turnaround loss, if that makes sense, against Houston that year.
Ridiculous. I was just trying to make up too much ground there. I think they do, don't they? Because
why
perfect.
would you not just? This is the thing that gets me though. Why would JJ Redick not stay on the 3-point line, but Blake Griffin wants to? Do you know what I mean?
That's what you're talking about. The wrong defensive scheme, the wrong offensive schemes. Go on, Kawhi. Okay, just make up small amounts of points there. Let him drain the clock a little bit. We'll keep them on D, and we've got that 3 points.
3-point game with 48.6 left. Oh yeah, I'm gonna slow this right down.
Sure you are.
As you said about Kawhi, that fear factor, I got really worried when I saw Kawhi guarding Chris Paul just then.
Here we go. Pat. That's right, Pat. Well done. Stay on him, Pat. Stay on him. That's good. That's brilliant.
He pulls up. He pulls up a gash. Okay.
I can't believe I've handed you this though. I didn't really know what else to do there because I was like, if I don't make it, then it's so different to a real life game where I'm the coach. I can just be like, go do that, Kawhi. What are you doing?
All right, 15 seconds. Well, it's like a 1 second difference game clock and shot clock. I'm going to milk this and get a buzzer beater or else we're going to OT. OT.
Just get that easy look.
I'm cashing it from deep. Oh, come on. Because I've been running pick and rolls the whole game. I knew you would be expecting the pick and roll like you were on the possession before. So I thought, let me just try and cash it in just once with Chris Paul to hit a game winner. But it didn't work. We're going to go OT. I'm quite surprised that,
But you kept up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I think you underrate this Clippers team that you're playing with. I think you're giving yourself almost too little or too much credit.
I think it's just because in real life, they just choked so many times.
Sure. So but that's
Matt Barnes.
That's lovely. Matt Barnes on Monday. Here we go. Right, come on. Can't believe this is...
DeAndre's going to block him. Oh.
Doesn't need to, mate.
That was smart. Here he comes. Here he is. I like this matchup though. Matt Barnes is probably the best wing defender on this roster. And he still gets scored on.
That's because I watch so much Kawhi basketball that I'm just like...
See what I mean about Blake Griffin just chilling on the 3-point line?
There we go.
That is not the Blake Griffin I know. Oh no.
How did that pop out? You got to admit, sometimes you need to get points just for the play on 2K. Because I've not played this game.
Sometimes it is a beautiful play. Yeah, this is actually very good for your first.
I need to learn the new controls.
Chris Paul taking it strong.
How was Chris Paul just got that rebound?
Give me the... Oh, JJ, stay in the corner. Why would you step your foot inside?
I've got that. Off you go, boys.
The thing about 2K, right, is it's done... Like, JJ Redick's A+ for 3-point shooting. But he might be a B- for mid-range shooting.
Yeah, I get that.
Because he never takes mid-range shots. So the fact that his foot was just a little bit inside the line, and I'm just there screaming at the TV, like...
Why are you doing that? I mean, JJ Redick wouldn't do that. That should almost be like one of the superpowers that the players get. Do you know what I mean? You just can't go around him. I'll go around him with you. Oh, mate, you've absolutely outstepped me there. Oh! Yes, that's all I
just want him to jam. That's it. It's been a whole game and now overtime.
No
and
jam.
Blake Griffin has not put anyone on a poster. Oh my god. Got to make the free throw though. What an ugly shot for him. That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting, bruv.
Do you think that's just because they don't know what Blake Griffin's actual shot form is? Or do you think that's
this is how he used to shoot?
Technically, I should be at home as well here.
You are at home.
But I'm not at home, so I can't do the the old vibration.
Oh, you can't do the shake on the free throw.
Technically, this game is the Lakers at home, but okay.
All games at Staples are the Lakers at home. It can be ice hockey, it's still a Lakers home game.
That's why they're moving.
They have to move though. If you want here's the thing, if I own the Clippers, in all seriousness, I'll move to Seattle. 100%.
I see.
Because you can't every single person, every time I'm in LA, I've never once met a Clippers fan. Ever. In my life.
Yeah, it sort of felt cool for a little while to look that way, but it wasn't actually, unless you're like...
I've never met a Clippers fan. LA is Lakers town.
Zoobs.
Big board.
Zubac has been terrible in this game. For both my bigs have not really helped me a lot in this game. See? Oh.
Finally!
The Rock
Blake
is back in Dunkadelphia.
The Rock has come back to the. Give me that. Oh, come on, Chris. Get out to the shot. Hand in his face. Oh! That was like the Kawhi buzzer beater against Philly.
Except I didn't beat any buzzer, and it doesn't actually have that good a ramification for me. Still kept me in touching distance.
You never know. That might be the one that wins you the game.
Oh, mate, what am I doing? Oh, again, Zubac just...
Chris Paul just sneaky and swerving and... Do you know what I was really hoping for? Just because we got Chris Paul here. It's not for the Clippers, but Blake's on fire.
There you go.
Oh man, I just thought that some sort of miracle would happen right there. But for God's sake. Kawhi just is too strong. What I was saying is I would have loved to see Chris Paul go up with OKC against Houston in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like win in that first round. So like Russ loses to OKC. And then face the Clippers in the second round. It would just be
we could play some of this.
We're in the same situation. We're in the same situation again.
This is ideal.
20 seconds, tied game.
Just go score it. Stop waiting for that. That's right. Put your hands up in his face. Go on. That's right. Follow with.
Matt Barnes for the game.
Oh! But is it for the game?
3! There's still 2.2 on the clock. But that was money. That was pure green light cash money. Ooh, I'm going to have to... I don't usually do the manual subs, but I've got to get rid of JJ Redick, man. Jesus.
Normally, I trust Doc Rivers, but not today.
Oh, Danny Granger was on this roster, and Jared Dudley.
Makes sense. Right, guys.
Jared Dudley's really been everywhere, hasn't he?
Yeah. That's why they call him the Dud.
Okay. He's been everywhere. I've put in Danny Granger at the 2. What a bust he was. He was expected to be great when he came into the NBA.
Okay, cool.
You've got 2.2. Who are you going with?
Oh, what are you doing there, Kawhi?
Oh, DeAndre Jordan with the big block. That was a great game, Lawrence.
I got the shot off in time as well, I think.
Yeah, it was within the time, but how DeAndre helping off the inbounds, and there's only so many times Kawhi can get lucky with his buzzer beaters.
I mean,
many.
There's a reason I went to him for that, and I'm happy.
Let's have a look at look through the numbers right here. So both teams shot 61% from the field.
Okay.
But the old team scored 55% from downtown. You took 10, I took 11. And I think that just comes down to, with the current Clippers, you've got too many players who want to do it by themselves. So
yeah, too much ISO.
Kawhi,
there's too much where it's like, let's draw up and play for here.
Paul George, Morris. Whereas my team is essentially Chris Paul with the ball, and then the defense collapsing on him and Blake or DeAndre running the pick and roll, and then finding the open shooters, like the game-winning shot from Matt Barnes. It was because the whole defense got sucked in by that action.
I wasn't really
stood out there.
I wasn't really playing in a realistic style either. I mean, there's no blocks. There's one steal for Kawhi in there. There's not enough assists. I mean,
your team got 8 steals though.
Yeah,
8 steals, 17 assists. But this is what I mean in terms of the assists with the current Clippers team is, you've got, if you're looking at with Morris even in that starting lineup, and I emphasize this because in Boston he did this. He's not really. He likes to get the ball and score, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He, Paul George, Lou Will, all these guys, they are bucket getters, and it's their DNA. It's not bad.
Agreed.
But whereas with this team, is CP3 is facilitating for everyone. He's pretty much deciding who's getting the look. Do you know what I mean?
Which I'm fine with.
And I think in a video game that's fantastic because I can control CP3 and decide. Blake finished with 20 and 10. CP3 finished with 9 assists, 13 points. Jamal Crawford, a nice 100% from the field, 10 points. Matt Barnes, 2 from 4 for downtown, 8 points.
You almost actually, you as a team in your 4-minute quarters also got as many points as Blake would normally get with 12-minute quarters. So credit.
Yeah, and you got 24 with Kawhi.
Yeah.
11 from 14 from the field, which is ridiculously efficient. Paul George has 18, 8 from 16. He was a little bit more inefficient. Those two, the 2 layups that he missed were kind of the turning point for him.
Yeah.
And then Reggie Jackson, Lou Will, Pat Bev.
Reggie Jackson, I've got to admit, I was impressed with in this game.
Reggie Jackson's a baller. I think people forget. Remember when he was on OKC?
Yeah.
He was a baller when Russell Westbrook was injured, and then Detroit kind of killed off his career, which is hilarious because I feel like when Blake first went to Detroit, he turned into a whole different monster.
Yeah.
And it actually worked for him.
And it worked really. I think it worked much better also because he had the space. Basically, he had a bit more space to express himself, whereas before it was a bit more, right, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but that was that. So in conclusion, I think that the teams, I still maintain that the new team is better. But for a video game, the old team has a better style of play.
Great video game team. I would love to take CP3 and give him a space on this current roster. I'd also...
And swap out Beverly.
Probably. I'd put Jamal Crawford in for... Because I still feel like there's times where I think, okay, who are the other teams scared of when Paul George and Kawhi are not on the field?
So... Lou Will or Jamal Crawford? You're taking Jamal?
No. But what I would do is I'd add Jamal instead of a Patrick Patterson or someone like that. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. I do hear you.
Because
you think when... Sorry, yeah.
I just think he's going to have... I think the point is when you get to the playoffs, you're thinking, how can we scare the other team? How can we keep them constantly... JJ Redick. I mean, I'm looking down this roster though, and I'm thinking these huge names: Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, Jamal Crawford, Matt Barnes, Jordan, Redick, Turkoglu, even Collison in there. I'm like, wow, look at this team. Granger was in there. Granger was a player who I think went underrated in the NBA.
But yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these, leave a comment below what teams and which players you want to see going head to head from any era. I love this kind of historical and modern day comparison kind of vibe. We might bring some more to you guys. Lawrence, thank you once again, my brother, for joining us. That was a fantastic game.
I want to play some more.
For your first time on PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, your first time on PS4, this was sick. That was a great performance. So hold your head high, my brother. We'll be back. We'll be back for another episode. We're thinking something to do with Mr. LeBron James himself. Ooh. So stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video if you liked it. That would be a really big help to the channel. And most importantly, get buckets.